The 20% needs to listen, because if they don't, they're going to find something out. The Hamptons is not a defensible position.
I guess that didn't play long. All right, what's up, people? What's up? I'm actually just doing some art today. May do some politics, like I've been doing the last couple weeks. Yeah. I kind of just been it's kind of been just like a bad couple of days for me. And yeah, that's the thing that's been happening. Sup, bitch? So I'm actually gonna be streaming and I'm doing some motherfucking what's the name? And if you haven't done so already, I would encourage you guys to what the hell? I guess that's the thing that happens. I would encourage you to join the Discord. Because reasons, I don't know, get to talk to me and shit like that. But we're gonna just jump into like where I have been with the art. So yay, me working on art. And so, like, just to let you know the scale and size of this isn't just some like small thing I'm working on. I just want to actually just create some things, and I'm still trying to like work out like certain things, and yeah, as you guys can see, this is I don't know, I'm still just trying to work on some shit. What I have been doing, let me just turn on some fucking music. Oh, it's the music going. What I have been doing recently, is just catching up on some shit. Like, you know, catching up on some anime. Just dealing with a lot of shit. And, yeah. So, yeah. Kind of got inspired by some shit. Still trying to figure out, like, everything. Obviously, I have this big, huge ass space over there. I'm going to have more characters on. And so, yeah, this is this is what's going on. Obviously, you have to work with their faces and shit like that. And this isn't an easy, quick project. So, yeah, this is what we're working on today. And while we're working on that, I'm feeling in a very particularly like self-hurting mood today. So, yeah, I'm going to like hurt myself by listening to conservative and dumb people's. What did he out himself at? What did he do again? Okay. Can you send me the link, because this dumb fuck. Okay. Send me the link of what you have, and we'll go over it. Wow, that just hurts my brain. Oh god. Just the level of stupidity that a lot of people have is just like, wow, okay. So I'm gonna also do this. Hitbox right there. And yeah. Oh shit. But oh no. That's just Tuesday for him. I mean, like, I'm thinking you talking about like I'm thinking you talking about some shit that's just like not known. Like, of course he wants to be dictator. Like, oh, was this a surprise for people? When he said, no, I should have 3 terms as president? I don't know. I'm thinking he was like, he was out there saying, yeah, I did shoot somebody on 5th Avenue and nobody said a fuck about it. Oh God. Let's get into these videos and we'll see where we go from there. Yeah. Where is the screen? All right. So let's get to the first video. I have done a number of videos talking about this current dumb fuck that I'm working on, that I've talked about before, and he has miraculously been like one of the most racist, gave him one of the most racist depictions of Chicago I've seen somebody actually give. And I just feel like this is gonna be another depiction of just dumb fuckery and racist, just like tropes and shit. So let's see what the fuck that Nick Johnson says about 10 reasons why you should never move to Chicago. So shall we?
It's wanted to.
I feel like I'm echoing. Hold on. That's what's going on. There we go. No. Let's go.
In case you haven't heard, Chicago really isn't that great anymore. In fact, according to recently released...
Oh, let's start it over from the beginning. I ate, obviously, when I tried to stop it. All right, let's go.
Everybody wants to move to Chicago. Or at least wanted to. In case you haven't heard, Chicago really isn't that great anymore. In fact, according to recently released census data, more and more people are leaving Chicago.
You dumb fuck. A lot of people are just moving from big cities. You dumb fuck. What the fuck, man? Like, why I know conservatives only take selected facts, and the selected facts, if it doesn't fit their narrative, then they have a fucking issue. But god damn, like, that's a ton of selected facts. But all right, let's go.
They're moving into the suburbs, into smaller towns, or likely leaving the state of Illinois completely. Because sadly, this once proud city is kind of crummy now. It's not...
I know you guys can't really see it, but he says the once proud city of Chicago is crummy now. Let me move that right here, and just move the camera just a little bit. He says the once proud city is crummy now, and he has the so we're gonna put it right along the Chicago theater sign. Crummy. Yeah, sure. Let's go, dog. Let's go.
Not the same place it was a decade ago, and far from the proud city it was a century ago. A lot of the people who live here defend Chicago just for the sake of defending Chicago. And if you have to try to convince people your city's great, then perhaps something's wrong.
Motherfucker, what city are you from? I just can't, I don't understand that. Like, what city are you from? What city are you fucking defending? And it ain't about a whataboutism, which it does sound like it's about a whataboutism. But what city are you from? What critique, what scale are you actually doing your critique from? What judgment, what yardstick are you using your critique from? What perspective? Because I'm doing art.
There's a lot of reasons why people are leaving Chicago, and there's a lot of reasons why you should move there yourself. So the next time you think about moving somewhere else, skip this place, because Chicago's not what it was cracked up to be.
I hate to do this, but wait. Thank you, Vicky. Wait, okay, GA has it properly. Like, yeah, no black folks took over Chicago. Like, it hasn't always been what people call the Chocolate City. Next thing he's gonna be claiming that Atlanta did the same thing. But let's go.
Chicago, a city which went from a swampy, remote frontier town to a booming, bustling, explosive center of the Midwest. Innovation, ingenuity, determination, and sheer ruthlessness ruled the day. Immigrants flocked here for opportunity. It was a city to be admired.
Wait, are you upset because the immigrants flocked here? Is that what it is? Immigrants came to Chicago? Because we actually have Chicago is a diverse city, but it is a very segregated city. I'm not gonna lie. We have a lot of Polish people here. We have some Italian people. Obviously, we have a Chinatown. We have a lot of African Americans, both that came in, that was around the founding and came from the Great Migration North. Like, we have a diverse set of people. We have parts of our city who were a lot of workers and shit like that. But yeah, but let's go.
Now, a lot of the population's the exact opposite of that. Many residents expect handouts, and those who can't get their way politically will take it with force or coercion.
I'm sorry, when the fuck does this happen? Wait, when the fuck does this happen? What? This is the shit that I'm talking about. Dumb fucks like this. What is he talking about? Okay. Yeah, no, for real. It is actually more segregated. But
animals are innocent. Don't be species.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. Thank you. But let's go.
Chicago's such a bad place to live now that the rest of the state doesn't want to live there. You ask people downstate what they think of Chicago and they'll roll their eyes. I'd rather live in my podunk little struggling community 100 miles away, they'll say, than deal with the BS that comes with living in Chicago.
Yeah, but they don't want to get rid of the Chicago tax base. Don't get me wrong. There are people in the southern part of Illinois, and central part of Illinois, and western part of Illinois that's just like, nah, we don't like Chicago. But they don't want to get rid of the tax base. That's the problem. They don't want to get rid of the tax base. And the people around the suburbs, they don't want to get rid of Chicago because it helps Illinois. It is a reason why, yes, Chicago dominates the local fucking area. It dominates the not only the Chicago, Illinois area, but Northwest Indiana and part of Southwest Michigan. We are, and I know I did a map of it. I know I did a map of it where the Chicagoland broadcast area like dictates a lot of what happens. And I'm sorry, it's because it's a hub. It is a hub city. And oh yeah, people are leaving, but that's just a marked difference of people are leaving to fill other parts of the country. Not because Chicago is bad, but because, quite frankly, the rents are fucking high in all major cities. And when people travel and go to other smaller cities, guess what happens to those other places? But again, I'm not letting him do his thing, but let's go.
So, hey Chicago, in case you didn't know, the rest of the state doesn't like you very much. Why? They're paying a lot of taxes because of you. Chicago only makes up 20% of the entire state's population, but the rest of the state is a lot less wealthy because of Chicago. There's a reason Illinois is the least tax-friendly state in the nation, as property taxes here are enough to keep homeowners far less comfortable than their Midwest neighbors. For a $400,000 home in Chicago, property taxes alone are close to 10 grand, and they're always looking for reasons to raise more taxes. Luxury taxes, dining taxes, congestion taxes, ride-hailing taxes. At least they got rid of the soda tax.
I mean, like, my man is like, how do I say this? The most unflavorable person in the world. I'm just saying. And he talks like it too. My man is just the most unflavorable. This is if text-to-speech came to life. I'm sorry. This is text-to-speech the person. But let's go.
Sales taxes are also the highest in the nation too, a 10% rate for most retail purchases in the city. Chicagoans pay the city 1.25%, the county 1.75%, the transit authority 1%, and the state 6.25%. And
wait, now, one of these things are not like the other. Go back and watch this shit. Let's go. Watch.
the county 1.75%, the transit.
What transit tax? You dumb fuck. What transit tax? No, okay.
Authority 1%, and the state 6.25%. And expect that number to grow, people. Chicago alone is one reason Illinois is one of the fastest shrinking states. The state has struggled to keep residents since the 1970s, as more people are leaving than staying. And up until a couple years ago, Chicago proper was still growing, but now the nation's third largest city is shrinking too. Look at this map. Green is population increase. Pink is population decrease. As you can see, the shrinking part is growing.
Now, mind you, he went, if you go back and actually look at it, he went and he talked about how Chicago is shrinking, but he saw major years of Chicago actually growing. And now it's shrinking. It's almost as if it's an ebb and flow of people moving in and out of the city. But of course, a motherfucker like him won't, because it's just a hit piece on Chicago, and he actually has issues with Illinois altogether. But yeah, let's go to this MAGA, because he's a MAGA guy. We saw that in the last video I did about him. He's a MAGA guy.
There's a Facebook page called Escaping Illinois with 46,000 followers, where people vent about many of the same things we're talking about right now. No wonder a lot of people in Chicago drink a lot. Win the lottery? Good luck being paid.
What city is he from? The fuck? Like, okay. All right, let's go.
You might get an IOU in the mail for that winning ticket. The state has a budget shortfall, in case you didn't know. It's all enough to drive out middle-class families who want safety and affordability out of Chicago.
That's a lot of words for trying to say white people. I'm just saying, middle-class families who trying to afford, that's a lot of words for trying to just say white people. Just say that, you dumb fuck. Okay, let's go. Oh, God, let's go.
Chicago into places like Omaha, Nebraska, or even Des Moines, Iowa. And lower-class residents are leaving for smaller nearby communities.
I mean, like, again, you instead of saying lower class, just say black people. That's what the fuck you showing, dude. Like, I don't like accusing people of being racist after only watching one or two of their videos, but I've watched like 2 or 3 of his videos, even those I haven't put out there. Yeah, sure.
Taking their criminal and drug habits with them, which is another reason the rest of the state's mad at Chicago. They're inheriting your problems. It's the Chicago way. That's just the way it's always been in the Windy City. Corruption's pretty much in Chicago's DNA. Higher-ups think they're being creative at thwarting laws. Regular citizens say Chicago's leaders are breaking them. They call it Crook County for a reason, after all. Wikipedia.
No, nobody calls it Crook County. You dumb fuck. You are just pulling this out of your ass. I live in Chicago. I've lived in the Chicago area all my life, even when I lived in the suburbs. You dumb fuck. You're just doing a hit piece because your dad at Trump just hated Chicago because Barack Obama. I'm sorry. All right.
Has an entire entry about the corruption here. Studies have reported that Chicago and Crook County's judicial district have recorded more than 1,700 public corrupt convictions. And that's just since 1976. They didn't even compile corruption statistics before that. 6 Illinois governors have been convicted of crimes, and 4 actually served time in the last 50 years. Who needs term limits in Chicago? Just wait for them to leave office against their will. So Chicago is undoubtedly the most...
Wait, what does a governor have to do with the actual city? You're making a category error, dude. What does a governor have to do with the actual city? Come on now. Come the fuck on. Okay, let's go.
corrupt city in the nation, with corruption costs of about $500 million a year. It's not only politicians, it's church officials, police officers, contractors, lobbyists, unions, teachers, actors, and probably even Little League.
He had to throw that in, didn't he? What's up, Bill? I don't get this part. It's very racist. This is just very racist. And it's just like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Okay. All right, let's go.
Umpires. It's been said that a couple of politicians getting together in Chicago is now a crime scene.
Holy cow!
Uh-oh, Chicago. Check this out. When they're comparing you to Detroit, Illinois residents, many of them Chicago residents.
Oh, 2 racism for the price of 1. Like, what the fuck? Okay, all right. Thank you. Okay.
Residents are more dependent on food stamps than any other neighboring state. And of our nation's 10 largest states, only Pennsylvania outranks Illinois, just barely, for SNAP benefits.
Okay, so the fact that you're saying that SNAP benefits are what you hear in the state, again, not Chicago, but what you're hearing in the state. Again, you're making 2 category errors, dude, because you're talking about state and you want to switch it to Chicago. Again, if you find out that most of the SNAP benefits are outside of Chicago, outside the city proper, are you going to have an issue then? Are you going to go back and say, oh, I'm wrong then? No, you're not. You just want to place the blame that, oh, it's Chicago and something wrong with Chicago. And of course, we know what your something wrong is. But again, yeah, of course we know red states have more crime. I did that video that I did with Tupper Mill, where he was talking. We were talking about what was it, Alabama or Mississippi? I think it was Mississippi, and it's just like, we know what the fuck is going on. We know. Why are you acting as if it's not just racially motivated? It's not just a conservative hit piece about a state that Donald Trump, nobody likes Donald Trump in. But yeah, sure. And by the way, this video is 2 years old, and I had been meant to cover it, but I just haven't. But let's continue.
15% of Chicago residents get food and other government assistance. Now, a certain percent of the population should get some assistance, but in Chicago, it's becoming generational assistance, and it's draining the city's budget. That's just another reason that Chicago ranks next to last of all major cities when it comes to fiscal health. While handouts are all the rage here, and lower-class citizens continue to get payouts and assistance.
Again, what you just want to say black people? I'm just saying, you want to just say black people, just say black people, dude. It's fine. But where are you getting that study? Like, I want to see this shit about cropping this shit out. Where are you getting that out? Where are you getting that from? So what was the headline? Study of I typed 78 when I was supposed to type 75. 75 largest cities. Let's see if we fiscal health. Yeah, I didn't type the right. Where did this come from? Oh, Chicago Sun-Times. And when did this happen? January of 2020. Wow, I wonder what was happening around then. Moody's investors have already ranked Chicago and Detroit as the cities least prepared to weather a storm of another recession of extraordinary high fixed costs and crushing pension obligations. I guess Moody's can't see the future because Chicago hasn't been crushed. And a rating agency whose top priority is to make sure cities don't have any sort of debt and not give anything to their citizens is saying that, yeah, Chicago needs to like not take care of its citizens. I wonder why. I wonder fucking why. But anyway, let's have him continue.
Fiscal health? While handouts are all the rage here, and lower-class citizens continue to get payouts and assistance, retirement obligations and pensions are diminished, as are healthcare benefits. So the working class is paying for the lower class, and as a result, the city's broke, which means higher taxes, which...
I just can't get over this. Like, who does he think the working class is? I don't get who does he think the working class is? It's almost as if like that dog whistle is inhuman now. Like the fuck? But all right, let's go.
Which means people are going to leave, which means a lower tax base, which means more budget shortfalls, and eventually lower home prices. The blue line is Chicago. Face it, Chicago's a mess financially. It has debts estimated at $34 billion. That's $37,000 for every taxpayer. This chart says it all, and you might want to pause the video to look at it closely, because we're moving on.
All right. So, fast fact, Chicago. Why did he cut off the shit on the side? And, okay, so fast fact, Chicago has $10 billion and available to pay $45.1 billion. It's called a city, dog. The outcome is $34 billion shortfall, which breaks down to a burden of $37,000 per taxpayer. That's so bonds which don't mature at the same rate. Debt related to capital expenses, unfunded pension benefits, unfunded retiree benefits, health benefits. I don't know. It seems like a lot of that shit can actually be resolved with maybe, I don't know, stop giving rich fucks tax breaks for moving to Chicago. Hello, United. How about a lot of this shit can be funded by not giving Amazon a tax breaks by living in Chicago? And as Vicky says, taxes are the price we pay for civilizations. But I will have to call bullshit on that second part of that phrase. Republicans hate poor people. And because they kind of associate all poor people with black people. But we're not going to get into that right now because, of course, he's being racist. But let's go. Let's go.
Boy, it is crowded here, mister. Chicago's traffic is certainly no joke. It's actually now the second worst in the nation.
Wait, if people are leaving Chicago and nobody wants to live in Chicago, why is there traffic then? Okay, all right, let's go.
Where drivers wasted 145 hours in traffic last year. Only Boston had worse traffic. And apparently being stuck in traffic costs the average Chicago commuter more than $2,000 every year in lost time. Likely on the Dan Ryan Apparently part of the
Why did you just say Dan Ryan? There are more than there. The Dan Ryan is only the southern end of the Chicago highway system, the 9094. Did he say the Kennedy? No. Did he say that is the same 9094? No. He said the Dan Ryan. He said the Dan Ryan. If you've ever lived in Chicago, you would know that Dan Ryan is where the black people live. Like, it's south of the city, and it goes into the predominantly African American neighborhoods. Why didn't he say the Eisenhower? But no, he had to say the Dan Ryan. Why didn't he say the fucking the 55? No, he said the Dan Ryan. We know where you at, dog, but let's go.
problem here has been the popularity of ride-hailing services like Uber and Lyft, which have shifted the transportation patterns from subways and taxis to one-at-a-time rides. And half of
Well, then you have a problem with Uber and Lyft, like everybody else in the fucking country. Oh, all right, let's go.
all commutes within Chicago are less than 3 miles. Part of that's because of the crummy weather. According to the NO.
All right, no, fuck. I look. If you don't like cold weather, yeah, stay the fuck out of Chicago. I will tell you that. I don't like cold weather. Look, the cold weather is fucking unbelievable. And because of climate change, like, we're going to get more fucking cold weather, more polar vortexes and all that other good shit. But, like, yeah, no, I will die on that hill. In the winter, the fucking weather is fucked. But let's let him talk.
OAA, Chicago has 189 total days of sun, which is close to every other day. But the problem is, a lot of the cloudy days are bunched into one long stretch, from November to March. You hardly see the sun here from late fall into early spring. Winters here are long and brutal, at least most years, although the year that just passed was relatively tame. But remember the polar vortex from 2019 when it was minus 21? Or the famous stranded on Lakeshore Drive moment from 2011 when people were stranded for 12 hours? It's a long, miserable time, winter is in Chicago.
And I can't argue with this. I can't argue with this point because, yeah, no. Winter in Chicago make or break you. Most of the time break you. I can't argue with this point. If there is one thing in Chicago that I fucking hate, that I'm glad I'm working from home, is because winter.
Chicago, people start to change emotionally right around March when they've had enough of it. When you clean off your parking spot and put a couch there, and then your neighbor moves your couch and parks there himself.
No, nobody puts a couch. No, nobody puts a couch. And this is the shit. Like, ironically, that bullshit that Kanye West said the other day is like, this is what they hang their hats on. And this is another reason why fucking people like him hate Chicago, because if you can see the license plate, it says Rahm Emanuel. It says